The alien ship Kethmoran floated near Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. Inside the ship, Commander Vextel looked at his screen with his 4 eyes. The screen showed information about humans, a new species they had just found. The Galactic Federation had sent this information to all ships in the area. Vextel read the report slowly. Humans were from a planet called Earth. They had only been in space for a short time. Federation scientists said humans were not very smart and not very strong. They lived on a small planet far from the center of the galaxy, the report said. Humans would not be good members of the Federation, Commander said his officer. Zilkax, there is a human ship coming toward us. Vexel turned to look at the main screen. A small human ship was moving closer to them. The ship looked strange. To Vexel, it was made of thick metal and had no pretty colors. Most Federation ships were smooth and shiny. This human ship looked like it was built to fight, even though the humans said they wanted to talk. What is the name of their ship? Vexel asked. Call it Ranger, Zilkax said. Ack! The captain's name is Jake Morrison. Vexel had never heard names like these before. Federation names were long and had many sounds. Human names were short and simple. This made Vexel think humans were not very smart. The human ship stopped near the Kethmoran. A voice came over the radio. It was deep and loud. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the Earth Ship Ranger. We come in peace. We'd like to meet with you and talk. Vexel looked at his officers. They all seemed worried. The human's voice was so loud and strong. In the Federation, people spoke softly and carefully. This human sounded like he was ready to fight. Should we answer them? Asked Zilkax. Vexel thought for a moment. The Federation had sent them here to study humans. They needed to learn about this new species. Yes, we will talk to them. He said. Vexel pressed a button to answer. This is Commander Vexel of the Kethmoran. Greet you in the name of the Galactic Federation. There was a pause, and the human captain spoke again. Great to meet you, Commander. Mind if I come over to your ship? I'd love to shake hands and get to know you folks. The alien officers looked at each other with fear. The human wanted to come to their ship. He wanted to shake hands, whatever. That meant his voice was happy and excited. But to the aliens, it sounded like a threat. He wants to board our ship, whispered Zilkax. This could be an attack. Vexel was not sure what to do. The human sounded friendly, but his voice was so loud and strong. Maybe this was how humans acted before they attacked. Very well, Vexel said into the radio, you may come to our docking bay. A few minutes later, the alien crew watched as a small human shuttle attached to their ship. They could see the human captain through the window of the shuttle. He was big and had short hair. He was smiling, showing his white teeth to the aliens. Showing teeth meant anger and aggression. When animals on their homeworlds showed teeth, it meant they were about to bite. The aliens became more scared. Captain Morrison stepped out of his shuttle into the alien ship. He was wearing a thick white suit that covered his whole body. The suit looked very strong and heavy. Morrison carried his helmet under his arm and was still smiling. The aliens had never seen anything like Morrison's suit. Their own spacesuits were thin and light. They were made to be comfortable, not strong. Morrison's suit looked like armor for war. Morrison walked toward the group of aliens waiting for him. As he walked, his heavy boots made loud sounds on the metal floor. The aliens stepped back. Everything about this human seemed dangerous to them. Hello there, Morrison said in his loud, happy voice. I'm Jake Morrison. It's really great to meet you all. He held out his hand toward Commander Vexel. The aliens did not know what this meant. In their culture, reaching toward someone was a sign of attack. Morrison saw that the aliens looked scared. He thought this was funny. These aliens were much smaller than him. They looked like they had never seen a human before. Morrison started to laugh. Don't worry, he said, still laughing. Not going to hurt you. I just want to say hello. But to the aliens, Morrison's laugh sounded terrible. It was loud and deep. His mouth was open, showing all his teeth. The aliens had never heard a sound like this before. It sounded like the roar of a dangerous animal. Zilkax reached for his weapon. Commander, he whispered, I think he is about to attack us. Vexel was scared too. The human was much bigger than any of them. His suit looked like it could protect him from their weapons. That terrible sound he was making must be a war cry. Morrison kept laughing and walking toward them. He thought the aliens were just shy. He did not know they were terrified of him. "Really, it's okay," Morrison said, still smiling. "I know I probably look strange to you. Humans must be pretty different from what you're used to." This made Morrison laugh even more. He thought about how funny it was that he was the first human to meet aliens. He wished his friends back on Earth could see this, but the aliens saw Morrison's laughter as proof that he was dangerous. Laughter was something animals did when they were excited. "About hunting is making attack sounds," Zilkak said quietly to his commander. "Look how big he is. Look at that armor he wears." Vexel made a decision. According to Federation rules, if an unknown species showed signs of aggression during first contact, they should defend themselves immediately. "Zilkax," Vexel said quietly, "prepare to fire." Zilkax raised his plasma weapon. The other alien officers did the same. They all pointed their weapons at Morrison. Morrison saw the weapons and stopped walking. But he did not look scared. Instead, he looked confused and a little sad. "Hey now," Morrison said. "There's no need for weapons. I'm not here to fight." "Why?" "Just want to talk." But the aliens thought Morrison was lying. His voice was still loud and strong. He did not sound afraid of their weapons at all. To them, this meant he must have very good armor, or very good weapons of his own. "Fire," Vexel ordered. The alien weapons shot bright blue beams of energy at Morrison. The beams hit his white suit and made small flashes of light. The aliens expected Morrison to fall down or run away. Instead, Morrison looked down at his suit where the beams had hit him. The suit was not damaged at all. There were not even burn marks on it. Then Morrison looked up at the aliens and started laughing again. He laughed even louder than before. "Well, that tickled a bit," Morrison said, still laughing. "Is that the best you've got?" The aliens stared in shock. Their weapons had done nothing to the human. Morrison started walking toward them again, still laughing and smiling. "Stop firing and let's talk," Morrison said. "I promise I'm not here to hurt anyone." But the aliens could not believe what they were seeing. Their plasma weapons could cut through steel. They could destroy small asteroids. But they had not even scratched this human suit. Morrison kept walking toward them, step by step, still laughing at their weapons. News of what happened on the Kethmaran spread fast across the galaxy. Commander Vexel sent an emergency message to the Galactic Federation Council. His message was short but scary. Human species shows impossible defense capabilities. Standard. Plasma weapons completely ineffective. Request immediate military support. On Earth, Admiral Lisa Kane sat in her office at the Space Command Center in Colorado. She was reading reports from Captain Morrison about his meeting with the aliens. Morrison had returned to his ship after the aliens ran away from him. He did not understand why they had been so afraid. Admiral said her assistant, Lieutenant Carol Hayes, "We're getting more messages from the alien ship. They keep asking us to surrender our shield technology." Admiral Kane shook her head. "What shield technology?" Morrison was just wearing a standard EVA suit. "The same kind our maintenance crews use every day." "That's what Captain Morrison told them," Hayes said. But they don't believe him. Admiral Kane looked at the technical reports on her desk. Earth scientists had studied the alien weapon that hit Morrison. The weapon was very advanced, but it was also very weak. It used less power than a microwave oven. To humans, it was like being hit with a warm flashlight. The door to her office opened. Lieutenant Commander Ryan Brooks walked in. He was a tall man with brown hair and a serious face. Brooks was the best diplomat in the Earth fleet. Admiral Brooks said, "I've been monitoring alien communications. They've declared us a Class 7 threat species." Admiral Kane looked up. "What does that mean?" "According to the Federation rules I found in their broadcasts, Class 7 means we're considered extremely dangerous. They think we have weapons and shields that are far beyond their technology." Admiral Kane laughed, but it was not a happy laugh, all because Morrison's suit didn't break when they shot him. "Yes, ma'am. And now they're sending a battle group." to Earth. The commander's name is War Prime Korthovel. He's demanding we give them our shield technology, or they will destroy our planet. Admiral Kane stood up from her chair. She walked to the window and looked out at the mountains. Earth was a beautiful planet, but it was also a dangerous one. Humans had learned to build things strong because everything on Earth tried to kill. Them, the weather, the animals, even the ground, could be deadly. "How long until their battle group arrives?" she asked. 3 days, Admiral. Then we need to send someone to talk to them before they get here. Brooks, I want you to take a diplomatic team and meet them halfway. Brooks nodded. What should I tell them? Tell them the truth. You don't have any special shield technology. Just build our equipment to last. 2 days later, Brooks was in space aboard the diplomatic ship Peacemaker. With him were Dr. Helen Davis, Earth's best alien expert, and Captain Bill Torres, a military advisor. The alien fleet is dropping out of faster-than-light travel now, Torres said from his station. My God, that's a big fleet. Through the window, they could see dozens of alien ships appearing in space. The ships were long and thin with smooth curves and bright colors. It looked beautiful, but they also looked deadly. This is War Prime Korthovel of the Federation Battle Group Sigma, came a voice over the radio. Human vessel, you will surrender immediately. Prepare to be boarded. Brooks pressed the button to answer. This is Lieutenant Commander Ryan Brooks of Earth Diplomatic Corps. We request a peaceful meeting to discuss this situation. There was a long pause. Then Korthovel spoke again. You will surrender your shield technology to us. If you refuse, we will destroy your planet. We don't have any shield technology, Brooks said. There's been a misunderstanding. Can we please talk about this? Lies, Korthovel said. Yeah, we have seen your warriors survive our most powerful weapons. No known species can do this without advanced shields. Dr. Davis motioned for Brooks to give her the radio. War Prime Korthovel. This is Dr. Helen Davis. I studied different species and how they evolve. I think I can explain what happened. Speak quickly, human. Our planet, Earth, is very dangerous. We have terrible storms, poisonous air in some places, and radiation from space. We had to learn to build very strong equipment just to survive. What you call shield technology is just normal safety equipment for us. Korthovel was quiet for a moment. Prove this. Brooks looked at Dr. Davis and Captain Torres. They both nodded at him. All right, Brooks said. I'll prove it. You can test. Your weapon's on me directly. Brooks, no, Torres whispered. That's crazy. But Brooks was already putting on his spacesuit. It was the same kind Morrison had worn, just standard Earth equipment. The suit was white and thick, with metal plates on the chest and back. I'm going outside my ship, Brooks said into the radio. You can shoot me with whatever weapons you want. I'll show you that we're not invincible. Brooks went to the airlock and stepped out into space. He was now floating between the human ship and the alien fleet. His suit had small jets that let him move around. I'm ready, Brooks said. Fire when you want to. Inside the alien flagship, War Prime Korthovel stared at the human floating in space. Korthovel was tall and thin, with purple skin and 6 arms. He had fought in many wars and had never seen anything like this. Sir, said his weapons officer, the human is just floating there. He has no ship protecting him, no shields that we can detect. Fire a warning shot, Korthovel ordered. A beam of green energy shot from the alien ship. It hit Brooks in the chest. The beam was hot enough to melt metal, but Brooks' suit absorbed the energy easily. Brooks waved at the alien ship. That felt warm, Brooks said over the radio. Try something stronger. Korthovel could not believe what he was seeing. He ordered his gunners to fire with more power. 3 ships fired at the same time. The beams hit Brooks from different directions. Brooks spun around in space from the impact, but his suit was not damaged. He steadied himself with his jets and gave the aliens a thumbs-up sign. Not bad, Brooks said. But I've been in worse thunderstorms back home. The aliens fired again and again. They used weapons that could destroy small moons. The weapons that had won wars against other species. But Brooks just floated in space, taking every shot they fired at him. After 10 minutes of shooting, Korthovel ordered his ships to stop firing. Brooks was still floating there, completely unharmed. His suit was not even scratched. "How is this possible?" Korthovel asked his science officer. "I don't know, sir. Our sensors show that his suit is made of simple materials. Iron, carbon, some plastics, nothing special, but it's so thick and dense, much thicker than our best armor." Brooks floated closer. "To the alien flagship. Are you done shooting? Because I'd really like to talk now." Korthovel felt fear for the first time in many years. If humans could survive weapons like this, what kind of weapons did they have? What kind of planet could create such strong people? Human Korthovel said. "What do you want from us?" "Nothing," Brooks said. "We just want to be friends. We want to trade with you, learn from you, maybe help each other. Help us. You're the ones with impossible technology." Brooks laughed, just like Morrison had laughed. To the aliens, it still sounded like a war cry. "We don't have impossible technology. We just build things to last. On Earth, if something breaks, you might die. So we make everything extra strong." The alien fleet pulled back to a safe distance. They needed time to think about what they had. Seen War Prime Korthovel sent an urgent message to the Federation Council. "Human defensive capabilities confirmed beyond our understanding. Recommend immediate study of this species. They may be the key to solving our equipment failure problems." Warprim Korthovel sat in his command chair, staring at the empty space where the human had been floating. His 6 arms were shaking with fear and confusion. In all his years of fighting, he had never seen anything like what just happened. "Sir," said his science officer, "I have completed the analysis of the human's suit." "Tell me," Korthovel said. "The suit is made of very simple materials. Iron, aluminum, some kind of plastic fabric. But the construction is incredible. The metal is layered many times. The fabric is woven so tightly that our energy weapons cannot penetrate it. The humans have somehow made basic materials stronger than our best armor." Korthovel closed his eyes. "Send a message to the Federation Council. Tell them we need the siege weapons, the planet killers." His communications officer looked worried. "Sir, are you sure? Those weapons have never been used. On a populated world, these humans are not like any species we have encountered. They laugh at our weapons. They volunteered to be shot. If we do not stop them now, they will conquer the entire galaxy." Meanwhile, on Earth, Colonel Amy Davis was in her laboratory studying pieces of alien technology that Captain Morrison had collected. Davis was a small woman with red hair and smart eyes. She had built some of the best equipment in the Earth's military. "This is amazing," she said to her assistant, Dr. Peter Hughes. "Look at this alien weapon." Hughes looked at the weapon on the table. It was small and light, with a smooth silver surface. "It looks very advanced." "It is advanced," Davis said. "The energy focusing system is incredible. The power conversion is perfect. But Peter, look at the power output." Hughes read the numbers on Davis's computer screen. His eyes went wide. "That's it? That's all the power it makes?" "Yes. This weapon that scared the aliens so much produces less energy than my coffee maker." Hughes sat down in a chair. "I don't understand. How can such an advanced weapon be so weak?" Davis picked up the alien weapon and turned it over in her hands. "I think I know. Peter, where did humans come from? Earth. Why? And what is Earth like?" Hughes thought for a moment. "Dangerous. We have storms that can destroy cities, earthquakes that split the ground, volcanoes that burn everything, wild animals that can kill a person in seconds, diseases that can wipe out entire populations." "Exactly. Now, what do you think the alien worlds are like?" Hughes understood immediately. "Safe, peaceful. They never had to deal with the dangers we face every day." Davis nodded. "These aliens evolved on worlds where the biggest danger was probably a light rain. They never needed to build strong equipment because nothing on their worlds was trying to kill them." She walked to the window and looked out at the sky. Dark clouds were gathering, and lightning was flashing in the distance. But we humans had to survive on Earth. Every day, something was trying to kill us. The weather, the animals, the ground itself. We had to learn to build things that could survive anything. Hughes picked up his phone. I need to call Admiral Kane. She needs to know this. An hour later, Admiral Kane was reading Davis's report. With her were Lieutenant Commander Brooks, who had returned from his meeting with the aliens, and Dr. Sophie Chen, Earth's chief diplomat. So you're telling me, Admiral Kane said, that we're not dealing with a powerful military force? Dealing with people who have never faced real danger? That's right, Davis said over the video call from her lab. Their weapons are incredibly advanced, but they're designed for efficiency, not power. Their ships are beautiful, but they're not built to take damage. Their entire civilization is based on avoiding conflict, not surviving it. Dr. Chen spoke up. This explains why they were so terrified of Captain Morrison. In their world, if someone laughs and keeps walking toward you after being shot, it means they must be a god or a monster. Brooks nodded. When I was floating out there, letting them shoot me, I could hear the fear in their voices. They kept saying things like, impossible, and how can this be? Admiral Kane thought for a moment. Hey, what about their threat to destroy Earth? Are their planet-killer weapons as weak as their regular weapons? Davis looked worried. No, Admiral. Those weapons are different. They're designed to crack planets apart by targeting the core. Even if the weapons are low-powered by our standards, they could still destroy Earth if they hit the right spots. How long do we have? According to the alien transmissions we've intercepted, the siege weapons will arrive in 2 days. Admiral Kane made a decision. Brooks, I want you to go back out there, but this time, take Captain Morrison with you. We need to make the aliens understand that we're not their enemies. The next day, Morrison and Brooks flew toward the alien fleet in a small shuttle. The alien ships had moved farther away from Earth, but they were still close enough to attack. This is Captain Jake Morrison, Morrison said over the radio, the guy you shot at a few days ago. I'd like to talk to War Prime Cordevel. There was a long pause. Then Cordevel's voice came through, sounding scared. Human Morrison, why have you returned? Because I think there's been a big misunderstanding. Can I come aboard your ship? I promise I won't hurt anyone. You wish to board our flagship? Yes. I want to show you something. I want to help you understand what humans are really like. Cordevel discussed this with his officers for several minutes. Finally, he agreed to let Morrison come aboard, but only if he came alone. Morrison docked with the alien flagship and walked. Through the hallways, the alien crew backed away from him as he passed. They whispered to each other in their own language, pointing at his thick spacesuit. When Morrison reached the bridge, he saw Cordevel for the first time. The alien was tall and thin, with purple skin and 6 arms. He looked like he had not slept in days, or Prime Cordevel, Morrison said, taking off his helmet. It's good to meet you, Cordevel, stared at Morrison's face. The human looked normal. He had 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth. He was smiling, but Cordevel could see that it was a friendly smile, not a threatening one. You are not what I expected, Cordevel said. Morrison laughed softly. What did you expect? A warrior, battle-tested soldier with scars and weapons. Someone who had fought 1,000 wars? Morrison shook his head. I'm just a regular guy from Ohio. I grew up on a farm, played baseball in high school. I joined the space program because I wanted to see the stars. He reached into a pocket and pulled out a small device. Cordevel's guards raised their weapons, but Morrison held up his hands. It's okay. It's just a photo viewer. I want to show you pictures of my home. Morrison turned on the device and showed Cordevel pictures from Earth. There were photos of green farms, tall mountains, deep oceans, and busy cities. There were pictures of Morrison's family, his wife, his 2 children, his parents. This is my world, Morrison said. This is what I'm fighting to protect. Cordevel looked at the pictures. Your world is beautiful, but also dangerous. I can see storms in these pictures, and those mountains look like they could fall at any moment. Yeah, Earth can be dangerous. We have hurricanes that can flatten cities, earthquakes that can split the ground, tornadoes that can pick up houses and throw them around like toys. Morrison showed more pictures. There were photos of destroyed buildings after storms, rescue workers digging through rubble, and people helping each other during disasters. But we don't run away from danger, Morrison continued. We face it. We help each other. We build things strong enough to survive whatever Earth throws at us. Corthavel was beginning to understand. So when we shot you with our weapons, it felt like a gentle breeze compared to what I've been through on Earth. I've been struck by lightning twice. I've been in hurricanes, tornadoes, and blizzards. Your weapons were nothing compared to a normal Tuesday back home. Morrison put the photo viewer away and looked directly at Corthavel. We don't want to fight you. We don't. Want to conquer anyone? We just want to be friends and maybe help each other out. Corthavel was quiet for a long time. Then he spoke. Human Morrison, I must ask you something. The siege weapons are coming. Well, they will arrive tomorrow. These weapons can destroy planets. Right. Even if you can survive our regular weapons, these siege weapons will kill everyone on your world. Morrison's smile faded. Then we need to stop them before they get here. Captain Morrison stood on the bridge of the alien flagship, looking out at the empty space ahead. War Prime Corthavel stood beside him, all 6 of his arms crossed with worry. They will be here soon, Corthavel said. The siege fleet. Once they arrive, I will not be able to stop them. Federation Council has ordered the destruction of your planet. Morrison nodded slowly. How many ships are coming? 12 siege vessels. Each one carries planet cracker weapons. They will surround your Earth and fire at the same time. Your world will be destroyed in minutes. Morrison was quiet for a moment, then he smiled. Well, that's not good. But I have an idea. Can you contact the Siege Fleet Commander? Yes, but why would you want to talk to them? Siege Master Drakethel is not like me. He does not listen to reason. He only follows orders. Maybe I can change his mind. An hour later, the siege fleet arrived. The ships were massive, much larger than any vessel Morrison had ever seen. They were black and covered with huge weapons. Each ship looked like it could destroy a moon by itself. This is Siege Master Drakethel, came a deep voice over the radio. War Prime Corthavel, why have you not destroyed the human world? Corthavel looked at Morrison, then pressed the communication button. Siege Master, there have been developments. The humans are not what we thought they were. Explain. Morrison stepped forward. Siege Master Drakethel, this is Captain Jake Morrison of Earth. I would like to speak with you. There was a long pause. Then Drakethel spoke, his voice full of anger. You are the human who survived our weapons. You are the one who threatens the Federation. I don't threaten anyone, Morrison said. I'm just a man trying to protect his home and his family. Lies. No creature can survive Federation weapons without advanced technology. You must have shields we cannot detect. You must surrender this technology to us. Morrison sighed. Siege Master, I don't have any special technology. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to let you test your siege weapons on me. Everyone on the bridge stared at Morrison. Corthavel's 4 eyes went wide with shock. Morrison, no, Corthavel said. The siege weapons are not like our regular weapons. They can crack planets. They will destroy you. Morrison looked at his friends on the alien bridge. These aliens had become his friends over the past few hours. They were scared and confused, but they were good people. Maybe, Morrison said, but if I don't try this, they're going to destroy Earth. Millions of people will die. I can't let that happen. He pressed the communication button again. Again, Siege Master, I'm going to fly my shuttle to a position between your fleet and Earth. You can fire one of your planet cracker weapons at me. If it destroys me, then you'll know humans can be killed. If it doesn't, maybe you'll believe that we're not trying to trick you. Drakethel was quiet for a long time. You would volunteer to be destroyed, to save my world? Yes. Morrison left the alien flagship and flew his shuttle to a position between the siege fleet and Earth. He was now alone in space. That was not much bigger than a car. On Earth, Admiral Kane watched the situation on her screens. The entire planet was holding its breath. Every person on Earth knew that one man was standing between them and total destruction. Morrison, Kane said over the radio, you don't have to do this. We can evacuate some people. We can fight. Admiral Morrison replied, we both know that. Evacuation won't work. There are too many people and not enough ships. Fighting won't help. These aliens aren't evil. They're just scared. If I can show them that we're not a threat, maybe we can all go home. Dr. Sophie Chen, Earth's diplomat, was listening to the conversation. She was crying as she watched Morrison's shuttle on the screen. Jake, she said, what if their weapon really can kill you? What if your shuttle isn't strong enough? Morrison was quiet for a moment. Then I guess we'll find out together. In the siege fleet, Siege Master Drakethel was having second thoughts. Drakethel was larger than Korthovel, with red skin and 8 arms. He destroyed many worlds in his long career, but he had never seen anything like this. Sir, said his weapons officer, the human is in position. He is directly between us and his planet. If we fire the planet cracker, it will hit him first. I know, Drakethel said. Charge the weapon. The massive weapon on the front of Drakesel's ship began to glow with power. The weapon was designed to punch through a planet's surface and explode in the core. It was the most powerful weapon the Federation had ever built. Sir, the weapons officer said, the weapon is ready to fire. Drakethel stared at the small human shuttle on his screen. Shuttle was so tiny compared to his massive ship, it looked like a toy floating in space. Siege Master, Morrison's voice came over the radio. I'm ready when you are. Drakethel had destroyed many enemies in his career. He had faced warriors who screamed and threatened. He had faced cowards who begged for mercy. But he had never faced anyone like this human. Morrison was calm and brave, willing to die for his people. Fire, Drakethel ordered. The planet cracker weapon fired. A beam of pure energy shot from the siege ship toward Morrison's shuttle. The beam was as wide as a building and contained enough power to destroy a small moon. The beam hit Morrison's shuttle and exploded in a flash of light so bright that it could be seen from Earth. When the light faded, everyone expected to see nothing but empty space. Instead, Morrison's shuttle was still there. The shuttle was damaged. The paint was burned off, and some of the metal was melted. But the shuttle was still in one piece. Morrison was still alive. Well, Morrison said over the radio, his voice a little shaky, that was definitely stronger than your other weapons. But I'm still here. Drakethel stared at his screen in disbelief. Impossible. The planet cracker weapon destroyed nothing. How can this be? Morrison's shuttle slowly turned around to face the siege fleet. Because we humans build things to last. My shuttle is just a normal Earth construction shuttle. It's designed to work. In space, near the sun, in asteroid fields, wherever humans need to go. We build everything to survive the worst conditions we can imagine. On the alien ships, the crews were in shock. They had just seen their most powerful weapon fail to destroy a simple human shuttle. Siege Master, Morrison continued, your weapons are amazing. Energy control is perfect. The targeting is incredible. But you've never needed to build weapons that can destroy things that are built to survive. You've never faced anyone like Says. Humans before? Drakethel was beginning to understand. Your people, you build everything to survive war. No, Morrison said. We build everything to survive Earth. Our planet tries to kill us every day. Storms, earthquakes, floods, fires, wild animals, diseases. We learned to build things strong because if we didn't, we would all be dead. Morrison flew his damaged shuttle closer to the siege fleet. Look, I don't know much about your worlds, but I'm guessing they're pretty nice places. Safe, peaceful. You never had to worry about your house being destroyed by a tornado or struck by lightning. This is true, Drakethel said quietly. So you built your technology to be efficient and beautiful. But we built ours to survive. That's the only difference between us. Morrison's shuttle stopped near Drakethel's ship. Siege Master, I have a proposal. Instead of destroying each other, why don't we help each other? You could teach us about energy efficiency and beautiful design. We could teach you about building things that last. Drakethel looked around his bridge at his officers. They were all staring at him, waiting for his decision. You and Morrison, Drakethel said, you have shown great courage today. You were willing to die for your people. This is the mark of a true warrior. I'm not a warrior, Morrison said. Just a guy who loves his family and his home. Then you are the best kind of warrior, Drakethel replied. Very well, I will contact the Federation Council. I will tell them that humans are not a threat to be destroyed, but a people to be respected. 3 weeks after the confrontation with the siege fleet, Siege Master Drakethul stood in the Federation Council chambers on the capital world of Veltar. The chamber was huge, with representatives from hundreds of different alien species sitting. In curved rows that went up to the ceiling, Drakethul was nervous. He had never spoken to the full council before. Usually, siege masters just followed orders and destroyed things. But today was different. Today, he had to convince the council that they had been wrong about humans. Honored council members, Drakethul began, I have returned from the human system with important information. The humans are not the threat we believe them to be. Councillor Vorthak, the leader of the council, spoke from his position at the center of the chamber. Explained Siege Master. Our reports said that humans could not be destroyed by our weapons. This is true, Drakethul said, not because they have advanced shields or weapons. It is because they build everything to survive conditions that would kill most of us. Drakethul pressed a button, and images appeared on the large screens. Around the chamber, images showed Earth, hurricanes destroying cities, earthquakes splitting the ground, volcanoes erupting, and massive storms with lightning. This is the human home world, Drakethul continued. Every day their planet tries to kill them. They have learned to build their tools and machines to survive these conditions. The council members looked at the images with shock, and he had never seen anything so violent and dangerous. Their spacesuits, which we thought were advanced armor, are just normal safety equipment. Their ships, which we thought were warships, are just built strong enough to survive their dangerous world. High Counselor Vorthak leaned forward. Are you saying that humans are not aggressive warriors? No, sir. I met their Captain Morrison personally. He is brave, but he is also kind. He was willing to die to protect his people, but he never threatened us. He just wanted to talk. An old council member named Zenthil stood up. But Siege Master, if humans are so peaceful, why were our first contact teams so afraid? Rico thought about this. Because we have lived safe lives on safe worlds. We have never seen people who could survive the things humans survive every day. To us, their laughter sounded like war cries. Their strength looked like aggression. But it was just normal human behavior. The council talked among themselves for several minutes. Finally, High Counselor Vorthak spoke again. What do you recommend? Siege Master, I recommend that we invite humans to join the Federation, not as conquered people, but as teachers. They know things we have never learned. They can help us solve problems we have struggled with for centuries. Meanwhile, on Earth, Captain Morrison was in his office at the Cape Canaveral Space Center. He was reading reports about the first group of alien visitors who had come to Earth to study human technology. Admiral Kane walked into his office carrying a stack of papers. Jake, you need to see this. The aliens want to hire us. Up from his computer? Hire us for what? Everything. They want our engineers to help them build stronger ships. They want our doctors to teach them about emergency medicine. They want our emergency response teams to help them deal with disasters. Morrison smiled. That sounds good. What's the catch? No catch. They're offering to share their technology with us in return. Clean energy, faster than light travel, advanced computers. It's the deal of a lifetime. Dr. Sophie Chen walked into the office, carrying a tablet. Jake, Admiral, you both need to see this message from the Federation Council. She handed them the tablet. On the screen was a message from High Counselor Vorthak himself, Captain Morrison. The message began. The Federation Council has voted unanimously to invite Earth to join the Galactic Federation as a full member. We would like to offer you the position of Federation Safety Coordinator. Your job would be to help other species learn how to build equipment that can survive dangerous conditions. Morrison read the message twice. They want me to teach alien engineers how to build things that don't break. It sounds like it, Admiral Kane said. Jake, this could change everything, not just for Earth, but for the entire galaxy. 6 months later, Morrison stood in the training center on the Federation world of Trixel. Around him were dozens of alien students from many different species. Some had 4 arms, some had tentacles, some looked like giant insects, but they all had one thing in common. They wanted to learn from humans. Today, We're going to talk about safety margins, Morrison said to his class. Can anyone tell me what a safety margin is? A young alien named Clickster raised one of his 3 hands. Clickster looked like a blue lizard with big eyes. Is it how much extra strength you build into something? Exactly, Morrison said. Ow. Who can tell me what safety margin most Federation equipment uses? Another student, a purple creature named Yelena, answered. Usually 10%. We build things to be 10% stronger than they need to be. Morrison nodded. That's good engineering for most worlds. But on Earth, we use different safety margins. Who wants to guess what we use? The alien students guess numbers. 20%? 100%? 100%. Morrison smiled. We usually use a safety margin of at least 300%, sometimes more. The aliens looked confused. Clickster raised his hand again. But Teacher Morrison, why do you build things so much stronger than needed? That seems wasteful. Morrison walked to the window and pointed outside. Trixel was a beautiful world, with gentle breezes and soft sunshine. There were no storms, no earthquakes, no dangerous animals. Your world is peaceful, Morrison said. If something breaks here, it's inconvenient. But on Earth, if something breaks, people die. A spacesuit that fails in a storm means the person wearing it is dead. A building that collapses in an earthquake kills everyone inside. He turned back to his students. We don't build things 300% stronger because we're wasteful. We do it because we love our families and want them to come home safe. Dr. Helen Davis walked into the classroom. She was now the director of the Human Federation Technology Exchange Program. With her was an alien named Korthul, who looked like a walking tree with many branches for arms. Students, Dr. Davis said, Korthul has something exciting to show you. Korthul stepped forward. I have been working with human engineers for 3 months. We have designed a new type of spacesuit using human safety principles. He held up a spacesuit that looked different from normal Federation equipment. It was thicker and had more layers, but it also had the smooth, efficient design that aliens were famous for. This suit combines human durability with Federation energy efficiency, Korthul explained. It is 3 times stronger than our old suits, but it uses half as much power. Morrison examined the suit. This is excellent work. You've learned to think like a human engineer. Thank you, Teacher Morrison. My people have already ordered 1,000 of these suits for our space program. After class, Morrison walked through the halls of the training center. The walls were pictures from all over the galaxy. There were photos of human and alien crews working together to rescue people from crashed ships. There were images of new buildings designed with human safety standards that could survive disasters. There were pictures of Federation emergency response teams using equipment based on human designs. Morrison stopped at one particular picture. It showed him and Warprime Korthavel working together to save survivors from a damaged space station near Rigel. They were both wearing the new hybrid spacesuits that combined human durability with alien efficiency. Admiral Kane appeared beside him. She was visiting the training center to see how the program was going. Any regrets, Jake? She asked. Morrison thought about his old life on Earth. He missed his family, but they visited him often. He missed the familiar sights of home, but he was building something important here. No regrets, he said. When I first met these aliens, they shot at me and I laughed. I thought it was funny that they were so scared of me. But now I understand. They weren't scared of me personally. They were scared because they had never met anyone who came from a world as dangerous as Earth. And now, Morrison smiled. Ow. They're learning that surviving a dangerous world doesn't make you dangerous. It makes you careful. It makes you strong. It makes you want to help others survive too. He looked at the picture of himself and Korthavel again. We're not teaching them to be warriors. We're teaching them to be survivors. And they're teaching us to be more efficient and thoughtful. Together, we're all becoming something better. Outside the training center, alien and human engineers worked side by side on new projects. The galaxy was becoming a safer place, one safety margin at a time. And somewhere in space, new crews with mixed human and alien members were exploring the stars, protected by equipment that could survive anything the universe threw at them. Morrison had kept advancing. and now the whole galaxy was advancing with him.